Number 3, always willing to take a risk. As entrepreneurs, I don't know if you have full-time jobs as Toastmasters, but I'm an entrepreneur and I teach people, because the whole corporate structure is just falling apart right in front of our eyes, to become entrepreneurs. You need to fend for yourself these days. So I teach regular people how to become entrepreneurs, or I teach entrepreneurs how to become better entrepreneurs and actually make money as an entrepreneur. Because the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is the discipline part, because you don't have a boss and you don't have someone to tell you what to do every single day. You got to kind of do it by yourself. So we kind of go over that at the boot camp, how to do stuff like that. But you have to take a risk as an entrepreneur. To become an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to take a risk. So I truly believe, like my wife was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. I kind of went ahead 5 years ago. She's totally great now. She's totally cured of that horrible disease, and it's all wonderful. But if we had a corporate job, like if we both had full-time jobs for a corporation when she was diagnosed, I just don't understand how people survive this. It's so hard being an entrepreneur, where I could actually watch the kids while she goes and gets better and gets chemo and then comes home and basically is dead for 4 days, lying in a bed in a fetal position because she can't move. People that have full-time jobs, I don't understand how anyone gets through this stuff because of our horrible healthcare system. Don't get me started on that. Don't make me talk about that. Anyway, so, you need to take a risk as an entrepreneur. You need, at some point in your life, if you want to control your own destiny and control your own life and design your own life the way you want it to be, you got to take some sort of risk, and that's what we did, my wife and I. We went to a Tony Robbins seminar back in 1996. I was a creative director for an advertising agency, making a very good living. My wife was a full-time model. She was a fit model, basically trying on clothes for manufacturers, and made a very good living. We went to that seminar and we quit our jobs the next day. And I opened up my own ad agency, and she opened up a modeling agency. Her modeling agency is one of the top modeling agencies in Los Angeles right now to this day, and this was, I think, 16 years ago. So we said to ourselves, we're going for it. We're young, we didn't have kids at the time, we're just going for it, and it was the greatest thing that we ever did. When I opened my own ad agency, some of my clients were the Academy Awards, ESPN, the Dodgers, Baskin-Robbins. This is a very funny story. Baskin-Robbins was one of my big accounts, and they walked in with that cake at a creative meeting. And they said, Craig, we need you to sell these turkey cakes. These are turkeys made of ice cream, and we need you to sell like 1 million of them. And I came up with the best headline I ever wrote was "Go Cold Turkey This Thanksgiving," and it sold millions of that. Horror. This is awful. Think about it. Pralines and cream inside there. So I did that. I worked for Baskin-Robbins for a long time, and then I also named a lot of the flavors. One of my favorites that I named was creme de la creme brulee. So I did that. That's what I do. I do marketing. I help people brand themselves. I help people figure out who they are so they can go out there, brand themselves, become known as that person, become known and have a bunch of raving fans wanting to hear them speak or wanting to work with them and selling their products and services. Number 4, focus. This was the hardest thing that I had to do, was to focus. I am scattered, I am squirrel, I am all over the place. But in 2006, I decided I am doing one thing and one thing only. Rockstar marketing, that's all I do. Follow one course until successful. Focus, focus, focus. I have about 40 coaching clients to sign up at my boot camps to have one-on-one coaching. And every one I asked, the first question I said, so what do you want to do? Well, I do this, but I'm really good at this. But everyone says I should do this, but my passion is this. And they try to do all 4, 5, 6 things. And what happens is you become good at everything, but the master of none. And the first thing I work on when I work with people is you have to choose one thing. Choose one thing, be great at it, and then you can do those other things later. And that's what I did in 2006. Because my wife was diagnosed with cancer, I had to step up now and do something focused because I was doing this in 2006. This was my life in 2006. I was running an advertising agency. At the same time, we owned Peak Models and Talent, but I had to run that now because my wife is on chemo. At the same time, I decided it would be a great idea to open up a theater, a live theater, and bring Broadway-type shows into my community in Santa Clarita. So I was running the Repertory East Playhouse, which is actually my theater. I actually owned it. At the same time, because 3 full-time jobs just wasn't enough, I decided to become the general manager of a minor league baseball team trying to come to Santa Clarita, because I thought that would be a nice little fun side gig, which took 40 hours a week. So now I'm working 160 hours a week, and I don't even think there's 160 hours in a week, but I'm not good at math. I coached my son's baseball teams. I was married 3 young boys, 6, 4, and 2 at the time, and my wife was just diagnosed with cancer. I was in the hospital 4 times that year for stress, anxiety, it was going crazy, and then there's my wife on chemo. She's always smiling, and even with this horrible poison going her. And it was really funny, when she went through chemo, the doctor said, the worst thing about well, there's so many things bad about chemo, but you are going to lose your hair. And she said, oh no, I'm not losing my hair. And the doctor said, no, it's 100% you lose your hair. It's now 99.99999% she did not lose her hair. Now we all think she like glued it back on or something, but she did not lose her hair during chemo. So I became, in 2006, I went to this seminar, I became a speaker, and I became America's shoestring budget coach, because I wanted to save people a ton of money on marketing and advertising. That's what I'm good at. I was used to charge $10,000 to design a one-page flyer, but now I know how to get them done for $25. You go to elance.com and you get professional designers, guru.com. These are websites that you can get professional designers to design great things for you for $25 to $50. There's a website called Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. You can get someone to do anything you want them to do for $5, as long as they say yes. You put a bid in, I would like someone to create a video for me about this, this, and this, and they say, yes, I'll do it, and you pay them $5, and people are getting tons of great stuff, designing logos for $5. There's tons of things we teach at the boot camp to save a ton of money. So that's what I was doing. But I was America's Shoestring Budget Coach, which was the wrong brand for me, because I dressed like that. And if you don't know me, I was not that guy. But I went to a seminar and someone said, you got to look corporate, and you got to wear, what's that thing called? A tie. And you had to wear a tie, and you had to do all these, and you had to stand like this for some strange reason. I don't know what that is. But so I did that, and I became America's Shoestring Budget Coach. But then I felt like that. And if you don't know who that is, that's Milli Vanilli, and they mouthed all the words, and they were these fake guys. So I felt fake on stage. I was walking around like this because I was so uncomfortable, but I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And then I decided, I went to a mastermind group. Is anyone in a mastermind group? You know what a mastermind group is? Where you get about 10 people together and you start brainstorming. It's the key to success. You've got to be in a mastermind group if you want to go out there, brand yourself, and market yourself, because you want the opinion of 10 of your peers. And that's what we did in advertising. We had a think tank of 25 people to come up with one headline for something. So I went to a mastermind group. I told everyone, I'm America's Shoestring Budget Coach, and my tagline is how to save a ton of money on marketing and advertising. And everyone said, yeah, that's good and everything, but you're Rockstar guy. You toured with Guns N' Roses and Air Supply. Why are you not incorporating that in your brand? Now, I'm a marketing expert, but I could not see what was right in front of my. It's like so obvious now. And I'm thinking, why am I America's Shoestring Budget Coach? I should be some sort of Rockstar thing or Rockstar. So I went upstairs, created the Rockstar System for Success, went back downstairs to the mastermind the next day, and said, how about this? Rockstar System for Success, how to achieve Rockstar status in your industry. And everyone was like, yes. But me, the expert, could not see it. It was right in front of my face, because we can't see it. You need help to tell you, to have someone tell you exactly what they see is your strength and who they see out there. And that's where your brand will find you. Most people do not want to throw themselves out there until their brand is perfect, their logo is perfect, their website is perfect, but what that is they're hiding behind all the things that they still have to do to get the business up and running and perfect, but it's because they have this fear that if they go out there and they don't make it, then they fail. And that's the hard thing about being an entrepreneur. If you go out there, name yourself something, whatever it is, and let them tell you what your brand is, and that's what I did. I was America's Shoestring Budget Coach, totally wrong. Spent a ton of money on books. I wrote 4 books. How to market your small business on a shoestring budget with a cheesy picture, creating wealth on a shoestring budget with the same cheesy picture, and 4 of these things, and that was a lot of money. I wrote 4 books and printed 4 books. It was a lot of money, but this brand has done so much more for me. So, and then I take pictures like that. This is my last, this is 2 boot camps ago. We do very large, it's bigger now, and it's Rockstar-like now, and it's cool stages now, and it's big. It's a lot of money.